The most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. My works are like water. The works of the great masters are like wine. But everyone drinks water. Never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. The truth must be served like a coat, and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. The average human being is a perverse creature, and when he isn't that, he is a practical joker. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Everyone is a moon, and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. Concerning the difference between man and the jackass, some observers hold that there isn't any. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Man will do many things to get himself loved, he will do all things to get himself envied. Adam and Eve had many advantages, but the principal one was that they escaped teething. Some civilized women would lose half their charm without dress, and some would lose all of it. One frequently only finds out how really beautiful a beautiful woman is after considerable acquaintance with her. It takes much to convince the average man of anything, and perhaps nothing can ever make him realize that he is, the average woman's, inferior. Take any type of woman, and you will find in it something to respect, something to admire, something to love. We lavish gifts upon children, but the most precious gift, our personal association, which means so much to them, we give grudgingly. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about Eve in the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. You can't reason with your heart, it has its own laws and thumps about things which the intellect scorns. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. A man should not be without morals. It is better to have bad morals than none at all. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. We can secure other people's approval, if we do it right and try hard, but our own is worth 100 of it, and no way has been found out of securing that. Always obey your parents, when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run, because if you don't they will make you. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. In order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. Only 2 things we'll regret on deathbed: that we are a little loved and little traveled. Always acknowledge fault frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. There are not enough morally brave men in stock. We are out of moral courage material. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended, yet in his private heart no man respects himself much. Human pride is not worthwhile. There is always something lying in wait to take the wind out of it. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. When I was younger, I could remember anything, whether it had happened or not, but my faculties are decaying now and soon I shall be so I cannot remember any but the things that never happened. It is sad to go to pieces like this, but we all have to do it. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. There is no character, howsoever good and fine, but it can be destroyed by ridicule, however poor and witless. Each race determines for itself what indecencies are. Nature knows no indecencies, man invents them. In certain trying circumstances, urgent circumstances, desperate circumstances, profanity furnishes a relief denied even to prayer. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy you must have somebody to divide it with. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. One of the proofs of the immortality of the soul is that myriads have believed in it. They have also believed the world was flat. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. At $0 a man can be an ass without being an optimist, but not an optimist without being an ass. Whatever a man's age, he can reduce it by several years by putting a bright-colored flower in his buttonhole. We have permanent habits until we are 40. Then they begin to harden, presently they petrify, then business begins. Whoever has lived long enough to find out what life is, knows how deep a debt of gratitude we owe to Adam, the first great benefactor of our race. He brought death into the world. All say, how hard is it that we have to die, a strange complaint, coming from the mouths of people who have had to live. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting its shoes on. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.